How's it going, everyone? Chris here, and welcome to my prediction video for the Pokemon Direct, which is happening tomorrow, February 27th, 2019 at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Now guys, before we go ahead and get into my predictions, I just want to let you know that tomorrow, starting at 8 AM Eastern Standard Time, which is 5 AM Pacific Time, I am going to start streaming the live stream, so make sure you guys go ahead and join up that stream. It's going to be a whole lot of fun, and we are going to stream right up until it starts, stream through the Direct, and then talk about it after it is done. So make sure you guys join me tomorrow. Once again, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Now guys, in today's video, I am going to talk to you about what I believe that we are going to be seeing tomorrow. Now, keep in mind this could all 100% be wrong, but given that we've gotten a ton of information recently, and we've seen a ton of leaks for Pokemon Generation 8 and everything like that, I definitely do believe that we are going to get the announcement of a brand new Pokemon game tomorrow. However guys, once again, just remember that I'm talking about this 100% for fun, and most of this might not end up happening. I mean, it could be something completely different, but for now guys, sit back, relax, and let's get into what I believe we are going to see in tomorrow's Pokemon Direct. So guys, the very first thing that I want to talk about is whether or not we are going to be getting a remake of Generation 4, or if we are going to be getting a brand new Generation 8 announcement. Now, personally, I do believe that we are going to get the announcement of a brand new generation of Pokemon for a couple of reasons. First of all, for the past couple of days, Nintendo as well as Pokemon have been promoting all of the old Pokemon regions. They've shown off Kanto all the way up through Alola, so now a ton of people are currently believing that this is going to lead up to some kind of Generation 8 announcement, and we are going to have the ability to travel to all of the different regions. Now, I understand once again that a Gen 4 remake is entirely possible, but considering we just got a remake of the Kanto region in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, I definitely think it's more likely that we are going to be getting a brand new game. Now, once again, I do think that a Generation 4 remake is definitely possible, and it might end up happening very soon. Personally, I always thought they would remake the Generation 4 games for the 3DS, but considering the 3DS is kind of at the end of its life at this point, I have a feeling they're going to remake it for the Switch right after they release Generation 8, and then that way, we can use all of the Generation 8 Pokemon in the Pokemon Diamond and Pokemon Pearl remakes. Now, in terms of Generation 8, what do I believe that we are going to be seeing? Well, if we take a look at the Pokemon Direct image that they posted alongside the announcement, we can see that it says Pokemon Direct 2/27/2019, and there is an image of 3 Pokeballs. Now, right away, everybody and their mother, as soon as they saw this, thought that this means that it's going to be the announcement of the 3 starter Pokemon. Obviously, we're going to get the new Grass starter type, the new Fire, as well as the new Water type Pokemon. I don't think we're going to see a ton of new Pokemon tomorrow. I have a feeling it's going to be similar to the X and Y reveal, where they don't show off a ton of information, they show off a little bit of gameplay, as well as the 3 new starter Pokemon, and that's probably what's going to end up happening here. I don't think they're going to give away anything with the story or anything like that, but I do think that we are definitely going to get the starters, especially since, once again, they posted the image of 3 Pokeballs. If they weren't going to announce the starters at the very least, why post 3? They could have just posted 1 and announced 1 new Pokemon, but once again, considering we got 3 new Pokeballs, I have a feeling that means 3 new starter Pokemon are on their way. Now, for those of you guys who didn't already know, last week apparently there was a credible Chinese leaker who saw the Gen 8 trailer and it apparently made him cry. So right away guys, I have a feeling that this Pokemon game is definitely going to be all about the nostalgia. Now, like I've talked about in the videos past, I do not think that we are going to go to every single region. I think what is going to end up happening is we are going to be able to go to parts of the region, like in Pokemon Emerald, in the Hoenn region, we are going to be able to go to Sky Pillar and Mount Pyre and all of the big important landmarks to catch the legendary Pokemon and stuff like that. Could you guys even imagine us playing through every single Pokemon region? Although that does sound amazing and I totally wish that would end up happening, I just can't see that happening, and here's the biggest reason why. After you play through the Gen 8 region, let's say your Pokemon are about at level 50, then you go to the Kanto region, and right there we automatically know that since you're going to be more overpowered than the Route 1 Pokemon, it's going to end up being way too easy. Now, there could be some kind of system in place which makes it so you have to switch your Pokemon every time, but I don't think that that makes a whole lot of sense. I have a feeling that it brought the Chinese leaker to tears because we get to relive all of the really important stuff. We get to go through all the gym battles again. We get to play versus Brock and Giovanni and stop Team Rocket. We get to catch Mewtwo and Mew, and we get to do all of the really important parts. I mean, even if it was at the same level of quality of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. And trust me guys, I know there's a huge debate. Personally, I do believe that Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee look really good, but that's just my own personal opinion. Even if it was at that same level of quality, people would still complain about it if we got all of the different regions. I mean, you guys have to remember how much work would have to go into developing all of those new regions with all of the new Pokemon animations and stuff like that, so it just doesn't seem very likely at this point. However, once again, like I said, the official Twitter for Pokemon has been posting a bunch of different videos about the Kanto region, all the way up through the Alola region, so it is definitely entirely possible that those regions do end up playing a role in the Generation 8 story. However guys, for right now, we are just going to have to wait and see, and remember that this is all pure speculation. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is that we have to remember that this is only a 7-minute long presentation. That is less time than this whole video is, so they can't show off a ton of new stuff. Now, once again, I think we're going to see a little bit of the region, a little bit about the new Pokemon, but other than that, guys, I have a feeling that what they are going to do is they're going to do something like the X and Y official launch trailer, where they showed off a bunch of the old games. They showed off Red and Blue, all the way up through, I believe it was Diamond and Pearl, and then Black and White, and then they showed off the brand new 3D models for Pokemon X and Y, so I have a feeling they're going to do something like that. They're going to show off the original graphics for Red and Blue, and then show the progression all the way up to this brand new Generation 8 HD thing for the Nintendo Switch, man. It is just going to be absolutely crazy. Maybe another thing that I really hope that they bring into this is stuff from the anime. Now, I understand that this is completely unlikely, but wouldn't it be cool if, like, Ash Ketchum got to be one of your rivals? Once again, I know that's extremely unlikely, but I think it'd be super cool. We do know through pictures in the trials at the Pokemon Alola games in Sun and Moon that Ash had visited. We know through Ash Greninja, as well as the picture of Pikachu and Ash, that he does play some kind of role in the Pokemon video games. However, there's been no official confirmation of Ash. We've never actually seen Ash in any of the games, and personally, it would be like a childhood dream come true if I got to use my team of Pokemon versus Ash's team. That would just be absolutely phenomenal. So hopefully something like that does end up happening. However, I'm not going to hold my breath. Another thing I think we are definitely going to be seeing are the box art legendaries for these new Pokemon games. Now, usually what they do when they announce games, at least in my experience, is what they'll do is they'll announce the 3 starter Pokemon, which we've already talked about, and then they usually show off the 2 legendaries that are going to be on the cover of the boxes for the brand new games. Now, along with this, obviously, since we're getting the starters, a little bit of gameplay, as well as the legendaries, I also think that we are going to be getting titles. Now, for a little while now, people have believed that the titles of the new game that we are going to be getting are Pokemon Crown and Pokemon Scepter. However, guys, I'm just not sure how likely that is at this point. There have been a ton of rumors going around that it's going to be based in England, but we've seen a couple other leakers, which I haven't covered quite yet, say that this isn't going to be based off of any country, and it's going to be a completely new Pokemon experience. Personally, I think it would be cool if they did deviate from the norm a little bit and made a Pokemon game that was just a Pokemon world. It wasn't based off of anything, because at the end of the day, Pokemon is still just a video game. It doesn't need to be based off the real world to be a good game. It just needs to have Pokemon as well as a good story and stuff like that. Another thing I definitely think that we are going to be seeing tomorrow is the inclusion of a difficulty setting. Now, ever since I started playing Pokemon, which was Pokemon Crystal back in the day, people have said that they really wanted to see the inclusion of a difficulty setting because the games are just way too easy. Now, back when I was a kid playing Emerald and Crystal and Fire Red and Leaf Green, I didn't really agree with them. I thought the games were a pretty good difficulty, but once again, I was a kid at that point. However, now with the games like X and Y and Sun and Moon, I can definitely understand that they are a little bit too easy, especially when you have things like the experience share, which gives experience to all the Pokemon on your team, even if they didn't battle. Like, yeah, that definitely makes sense. It's a little bit too easy. Also, the rivals like Hau and Serena just didn't really stand up. I mean, I grew up fighting rivals like Blue and the Mystery Trainer from Pokemon Gold and Silver. Like, those were actually good rivals that always kept me on my toes, so hopefully they do end up having good rivals in the game. Also, guys, if we do end up traveling back to all the different regions, I would love it if we could battle versus all of the old rivals. How cool would it be if we went to Unova, or if we went to Hoenn and we got to battle versus Wally and May and Gary? It just sounds way too awesome. And another thing that I think would be really cool, like even if this doesn't end up happening, is if we got to play versus all our old trainers. Like, if you have Pokemon Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire, how cool would it be if you could actually transport your team into the new Pokemon Generation 8 games and then battle versus your old team of Pokemon with your brand new Generation 8 team? Personally, I think that would be extremely cool, but once again, guys, I'm not holding my breath for anything. I am just so excited for this Direct tomorrow. However, guys, like I said, I think that no matter what we get in the Direct tomorrow, it is going to be 100% spectacular, and I cannot wait to see what the new Generation 8 of Pokemon entails. However, guys, let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. What do you guys believe that we are going to be seeing tomorrow? Do you guys agree with me or disagree? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, share, and like, and I will see you guys at the live stream tomorrow. Take care.